Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to do a flawless foundation routine. So I already have my eyes done and my eyebrows. I just wanted to show you guys how to get like a really nice, today I'm going to go for more of like a dewy, youthful type of foundation routine, something that just looks really smooth on the skin. And I'm just going to show you what I personally do. So yeah, just keep this in mind, that just because the products that I show you today work for me doesn't mean that they're going to work for you, because everybody has a different skin type. And I've bought many different types of products and foundations and stuff like that before I found out what worked for me. So just keep that in mind, and as well as it's not only the foundation that gets you the flawless face, but it's the skincare as well. So I'm going to show you how I prep my face for it as well. And let me tell you about my skin type. My skin type is combination, so it is fairly dry around the outer parts of my face, but throughout the day I break out a little bit with oil in my T-zone, which is pretty normal. So what I'm going to go ahead and do first is I'm going to moisturize my face, and lately I've been using this. It's the Tarte Drink of H2O moisturizer. What I do is I just go ahead and take a little bit on the end of my finger. This is a little bit more than you probably need, but I like to rub it down my neck as well, and my face is a little dry today. So yeah. I just really want to rub that into the skin. With every prep product that I put on before my foundation, the key to that is really just letting it soak in. Honestly, before I put my foundation on, my prep takes me about 15 minutes. So keep that in mind. Now I'm going to go ahead and I like to put an under eye primer, and not a primer, a moisturizer underneath my eyes. It's just something that I've built into my beauty routine throughout the years, and I've just been using, it's the Algenist Complete Eye Renewal Balm. I just put a little bit, like the tiniest amount. This will last you so long. Literally just the tiniest amount like that. I need to be really careful right now because I have eye makeup on. So next what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and use the Badescu. It's a facial spray with aloe herbs and rosewater. It's basically like a hydrating, setting type of mist. I actually use this a few times throughout the makeup routine to just make everything look really youthful and not powdery, and just very hydrated looking. So it's going to look like this. Just make sure and let this dry down really nicely. And then next what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go in with a primer. A line that I have been loving lately is actually a drugstore brand, and I've tried 2 of them now, and I really, really love how my makeup turns out when I use them. And it's the E.l.f. brand, and this one is the mineral one. So what you're going to go ahead, now that facial spray is dried down, so what you're going to want to go ahead and do is I just like to get, oh, that wasn't a very good, just about 1.5 to 2 pumps, and then just mainly focus that where you have most of your troubles. What I like to do is I like to go in with my setting spray, which is something that typically most people use when they're completely done with their makeup. I like to use it right before I put on my foundation, and then when I'm done with everything, and this stuff makes my makeup stay on literally all day. So I'm using the Urban Decay. It's the all-nighter setting spray. And once it's dry, your face won't feel slippery, but more a little bit tacky, which is what you want, because that's what's going to make your makeup stick to your face. Now you can go ahead and go in with your foundations. So me being super bougie, I actually use 2 different foundations, and the reasoning for that is because I don't like the finish of one, but I don't like the coverage of the other. So one does coverage for me and the other does the finish for me. You totally don't have to do that. This is just me doing what I like to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation, and it looks like this. And then I'm also gonna go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation, and this is drugstore. So this stuff is really cheap, and this is the one that I love the finish of. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I have a very damp, actually probably should wring it out more, but whatever. A damp, not beauty blender, this is a Real Technique sponge. This is the one that you can get from the drugstore. They're really cheap and they're very comparable to the beauty blender. Personally, I buy these over the beauty blenders just because I go through them so much, and to me they do just the same. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit on the back of my beauty blender. I just squirt that onto my hand because I don't like squirting it onto my face. That just sometimes can give you an all over cakey look if you put too much on. And that's the good thing about a beauty blender over a brush, is that the beauty blender will absorb product if there's too much on your face. So I like to just start it right here on my cheeks, which is pretty much where I need the most coverage, where I'm the most red, where I have the most texture and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna focus it right here in the middle first and then bring it on the outer side of my face. Start out with a little amount and then you can build it up if you need to. But the foundation itself is pretty matte. It's not really giving off much of a shine, so when I put this on, you'll notice such a difference. To me, it just like gives life to foundations. No matter what full coverage foundation I use underneath, I always use the Pro Glow on top of it. It just makes everything look so youthful and fresh to me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back in with that Badescu rosewater spray. And then I'm gonna take my beauty blender and press that in. This is the Tarte Shape tape. So go ahead and put some on your chin. I like to put some on my Cupid's bow. Down the bridge of your nose. And then on my forehead. And then you're gonna go back in with that same beauty blender and just start blending. And to get, if you have any creases under your eyes, just look up while you're doing this and that'll get under the lines. Okay, so one of the most important parts about this entire thing, this is where we're gonna go ahead and set our face. You guys are gonna be surprised at what I'm gonna use. It is so affordable. This one is from the drugstore. It is called Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. So this brand has been around forever. And the color I have is translucent. So what you're gonna go ahead and do is just get some loose powder into the cap, get your damp beauty blender, go back over anywhere that maybe has creased, if you have any lines forming underneath your foundation or concealer, and take your sponge, dip it into your powder, and then set underneath your eyes. So I go ahead and there's some excess down there. I go ahead and let that sit. There's not a lot. I don't like to bake very heavily. This technique is called baking because what it does is you put the powder on, you let it sit there, and your body temperature reacts with it and it melts into your skin. If you have problems with your makeup not staying on underneath your eyes or on your nose or something, you can go ahead and use that technique and it will make sure that the powders are really absorbing into your skin and making your makeup stay on for a long amount of time. I'll go back in where I left that excess. I don't know if it's really picking up because it's really not that much. Just little powder specks, and then I just press that in until it's gone. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and go back in with this Mario Badescu spray. Go back in with your beauty blender and very lightly just dab that in. The reason why I continue using these sprays is to kind of keep everything hydrated and a little dewy looking instead of just flat and powdery. The blush I'm going to use today is Milani Baked Blush in the shade Dolce Pink. And the very last tip that I'm going to leave you guys with on this flawless foundation routine is to just set your makeup. That's going to make your makeup stay on all day, and it's going to again set all the powders. And I'm going to go ahead and use that same one that I used in the beginning of the video, the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. So yeah, so this is the finished foundation look. As you can see, it's really smooth, very full coverage, but still very skin-like looking, the most natural that it can look with being full coverage makeup. It's very dewy. So yeah, that is everything for my flawless foundation routine. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, go ahead and leave comments in the comment box below of videos that you guys would like to see in the future. I just have like so many ideas that I'm just trying to do the things that I think that I get the most questions on. So if you guys could leave what you would like to see in the comment section, that would be great. So yeah, so thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.